dentist and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. Yeah, the magician's assistant in their dream. And they come unstuck. Lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong.
Welcome to Senior Capture the Flag, Elementary School Edition. Let's take a look at the teams.
Ready, set, go!
In the end, Island View Elementary won the games. However, everyone had the chance to represent their elementary schools, a pride they've carried since first grade.
Throughout elementary, in my 6th grade year, instead of getting, in the lunchroom there was this broken lunch tray. The lunch trays that you put your square cheese pizzas on. And no one was using it, so I took it. And instead of getting signatures on the yearbooks that they handed out, I got them on this red lunch tray. So I went over to all the people in my class and got their signatures. I'm like, why do you have this? And I'm like, I don't know, just sign it. Yeah, so now it's sitting on my shelf at home, and yeah, it was a good memory.
So in preschool, Connor and I went to preschool together at the Children's Cottage, and I was really into like fairies and fairy princesses, so I took a branch and thought it was...
No, this is completely...
This was in my mind,
Okay.
but I thought it was like a magic wand, so I was like playing with it and like pointing it at people, and I almost blinded Connor.
Pretty much what happened is, Cece was there too. We used to make fun of the girls and then we'd chase them around and then they'd chase us. And so there was like a little plastic house that was new on the playground, and they put it out there, and we chased a bunch of them over there, and she went inside of it. And she had like a freaking tree branch in her hand, and I like opened the door and like poked my head in. And she jabbed me in the eye. So I had to go to the emergency room, and I had to get like an eye patch and a bunch of like things done, and it was a real sweet experience as a 5-year-old.
Derek Norton thinks it's just this great idea to grab a singing nettle, and we're gonna film it, and it's gonna be awesome. So, little Derek in his bowl cut with his glasses goes up. Okay guys, I'm Derek Norton, and I'm gonna grab this stinging nettle.
Okay, I'm Derek, and I'm gonna be grabbing the sticky nettle, okay?
He goes up, grabs it, takes a second. Oh. Ow! Oh!
Oh, God!
Sweet Jesus, it burned!
Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus!
Runs away screaming, just flailing, because his hand is all inflamed from grabbing this stinging nettle. All the while, sweet baby Jesus, my hand!
Oh, Jesus, it's broken! Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Ah! Ah! It hurts!
And it is hilarious. This is Derek Norton's prime. This is his prime. He peaked.
So my favorite elementary school memory was in 6th grade. I kind of had a small hatred for school, so I decided I was going to try to make the school go bankrupt by stealing plastic spoons. So every lunch I would just
Take the spoon.
I just go and grab 2 handfuls of spoons and shove them in my pockets, and then I would, during recess I would
Go to the park.
I would go to the
You'd
I'd
grab
go
one
to the
of the
bark.
spoons.
Yep. I would dig a hole with the spoon, and then I'd put all the spoons under the bark in the playground. And one time when I was doing that,
Derek Norton was swinging on the swings, and he thought it would be cool to see if he could like fly or jump. And he got swinging really high,
I had all the spoons in my hand, and I thought it was a good idea to
jumped off, and his like sleeve got caught in the swing, and he landed hard and
just go everywhere, and
ended up breaking his arm. And it's really bad to laugh about.
A weird elementary school thing. So I went to Fidago, and so did Eli, and all of the girls in my class were trying to flirt with him by throwing goldfish on the floor because he would eat them off the floor. So every day girls would bring goldfish to school and like throw them on the floor so Eli would go eat them and talk to them. And then also, I don't know why I remember this, but like, you know the salt that they put to melt the snow like on the steps outside, he would also like eat that. So yeah, that was just a weird elementary school memory.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. Only shooting stars break the mold. It's a cool place, and they say it gets colder. You're bundled up now, wait till you get older. But the media men beg to differ, judging by the hole in the satellite picture. The ice we skate is getting pretty thin.
My favorite elementary school memory is when Marco Gaspar threw a pine cone at me and I turned him into the office for bullying and he got in a lot of trouble.
One time in 3rd grade, I peed my pants getting off the bus.
I was just totally crushing everyone. And so I was like, I have to hold it. I cannot get out of this 4th grade box until I just destroy everyone. But then it was really bad, and I really, really had to pee, and I could feel it. You know, okay, I'm not gonna get into the details, but I really had to pee, and then I was like, I was getting so into it that I like threw the ball, and then it was like, I was peeing. Like I knew I was peeing, and I was like, oh damn. I was like probably like 30 feet from the door, and I just started sprinting, and I'm like peeing this whole time. And there's like this trail. It was so bad. It was so bad.
In elementary school, I was really good friends with Sabrina Poor, and a bunch of my friends, we all thought she was like too mature for an elementary school kid. So we would always go out to the field and we would have immaturity lessons where we would make her do really immature things. Like we would be like, you have to dance really weird right now, and then we'd make her do it. And so yeah, I don't think it worked because she's still pretty mature, but that's actually a good thing now.
Yeah.
In elementary, in Miss Catlin's class in 2nd grade, me and Heather Rolfe and Elliot Briefer thought that something lived in the attic of that class, and there was like a hole in the coat closet, and we thought that something was living up there, and so we used to write notes to it and leave them there, and we left food for it, and sometimes the notes were gone and the food was gone, and we like thought there was this huge conspiracy about this thing living there. We'd go and like always get the lunch thing so we could just like be there and like try to listen for sounds, and once we thought we were going to climb up into the attic and go find it, but we weren't brave enough.
My favorite elementary school memory was I was in, I think, 4th or 5th grade, I believe, and this one day I came to school and all of my friends had decided to wear like dresses and dress up to school, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was left out. I was so mad. And so I was like, the next day I'm gonna wear a dress to school. I'm gonna be so cool. So I show up the next day to school and it's the walkathon. And I have to walk the whole walkathon. I'm wearing a dress and tennis shoes, and my mom has a picture of me, and I'm still tagged on Facebook, of me running in my dress in my like New Balance sneakers, and it was raining too. It was one of the worst days of my life, but it was so funny.
So we all went to Mount Erie, and there was a period of time in 6th grade where we decided that we could not get along with each other, and we got banned from every single game on the playground, including zombie tag, capture the flag, kick a ball. We couldn't go on the bar, couldn't go on the Mississippi bars.
Game.
Whip?
You guys were like, you get cold hands, you whip each other around?
Red Rover! That's it!
We were playing airsofting at Chris Bartlett's house, and then
So yeah, I was on the top story of the barn with Kyle, and we were both sniping. So I moved this
piece of plywood up from the floor, and underneath was just a rotten piece of plywood, and I didn't know that. But I just moved one of them so I could shield us. And then Kyle, about 2 minutes later, walks right over it and falls like 2 stories down to the bottom of the barn. And Chris's mom comes out running going, "What the bloody hell?" It was hilarious.
My first friend in elementary school was Ashley.
And same goes for me.
And we're still friends.
Yeah, we've had some times where we separated, but we came back and it's good.
And here we are.
Yep. In your video.
Yep,
Nice.
here I am.
And we edit stuff on the way.
Get out of here.
Tristan probably has a different side of this story. I called my home phone a few times and left messages with my mom. Or like your mom left messages saying Eric would like to play with Tristan. But when Tristan and I weren't really friends at all, I invited Elliot Briefer over, and Elliot didn't show up, but Tristan showed up. I have no idea how he knew why. Like, I don't know why, but then we became friends, so it was cool. It was sick. There was RC planes involved. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So the first friend I ever had in elementary school was Connor Rodriguez. And I remember the first day he came in, I thought he looked really weird because he had a faux hawk, and I wasn't down with that. And he came and sat next to me, and it was first grade, and we were painting or something, and I was just painting my own thing, didn't even pay attention to him, and I could tell him he was noticing me, and he like looked at me, and he asked me, "Hey, do you want to be my friend?" And without breaking like my concentration on my picture, I just kind of like nodded my head down and said sure, and didn't pay attention to him the rest of the day. And then the next day he came in and said hi to me, and then 12 years later he's one of my best friends.
My first friend in elementary school was Ryan Burton. He got me into soccer, and I've been friends with him ever since, and we've had a lot of good times. And another memory I had with him is in Island View. We both were outside at recess playing basketball, and the ball was right in between two of us, and we both went for the ball and hit heads. And I don't know if he passed out, but I passed out, and we both got woken up at the end of recess and ended up in the nurse's office. It was pretty fun though.
So my first friend in elementary school was Caitlin, but I didn't think she was Caitlin because the first day that I was at Mount Airy in 6th grade, I was sitting at my desk because I got there early, and then Allie Sherman came up to me when like everyone else came in the class. She came up to me and she was like, "Hi, I'm Allie." And then Caitlin came up right after her and she was like, "Hi, I'm Allie." And I was so confused. And I remember that I had on the seating chart, I sat next to her in like the next class, and it said Emma and Caitlin, but then she sat next to me and I thought her name was Allie, so I was so confused.
My first friend in elementary school was Allison Sherman and Kenneth Herschel.
This is what a silly band is. Actually, what it is, it is a rubber band that holds its shape.
Bracelet, yes.
And what do you do? You
Kids
just,
collect them, they wear them, they trade them, they use them as a fashion accessory.
Okay, in elementary school, silly bands were definitely super popular.
I went to Island View, and everyone wore silly bands.
Everyone did that there too, yeah.
I remember I had
trade them. Yeah, I had like the Hello Kitty ones.
Of course.
Yeah,
I had, my like arm would be filled to like halfway.
I
couldn't do it.
And then those little bands.
Oh,
Were
silly
those
bands?
popular? Yeah,
Yes.
silly bands. Yeah, those were dumb. Those are such a choking hazard.
Silly bands. Like people would have them like up their whole entire arms.
They became popular in like one day, but I was gone that day. And so I came like the day after they got popular, and suddenly like everybody had them, and they were just like all stacked up on their wrists, and everyone was like trading them, and I was like, what is this? This is so cool. And so I think like that night I went to Walgreens or something, and I bought like 3 boxes.
Oh my god.
3, 2, 1.
I wanna be the
In my elementary school, since I'm not from here, probably what was popular was probably Pokemon or Beyblade, you know, the spinning tops. Those are probably popular among the boys.
He's a phantom.
I'm your basic average girl, and I'm here to save the world. You can't stop me 'cause I'm impossible.
I never thought that it'd be so simple, but I found a way, I found a way.
Timmy is an average kid that no one understands. Mom and Dad and Vicky always giving him commands.
Let's go. You could gaze into the future. You might think life would be a breeze.
One of my elementary school memories is in the 3rd grade. I had a big crush on Carson Paddock, and that was a big time when Hannah Montana was coming out, and so I wrote a song to the tune of a Hannah Montana song, but I changed it to Carson. So I wrote a song about Carson Paddock in 3rd grade.
It's really you, but no one ever discovers. Who would have thought that a girl like me would double as a superstar? You get the best of both worlds. Chill it out, take it slow, then you rock out the show. You get the best of both worlds. Mix it all together, and you know that it's the best of both worlds.
Entering middle school, the world seemed so much larger. You were out of elementary school, meeting new people. The world was your oyster. Looking back, there are memories you keep for the rest of your life, no matter how hard you try to let go of them.
I am your host, Marco Antonio Gaspar. Are you guys ready to taco tonight?
Vomit.
This guest tonight is world-renowned Mexican Francisco Lepe Martinez.
Thank you for having me here on Taco Tonight, Marco.
So, we have a clip here of your new music video entitled My Thug Life.
I was born in a hospital, raised in the streets where I got beat and they got packaged up all in.
Hey man!
Dude! Give me that!
Computer's too heavy, just in too much pain.
In middle school, Coop was about a 2.5. And
Pretty generous.
And then Derek, it was kind of his prime, probably like and now he's like a 7.
I don't know. I'd say 5. Come on. That's but RC was at the top of the school
King-
for sure.
king of middle school.
King. Like,
Ruled the school.
Gotta be like a 9, maybe. Even
I was 10.
You were just.
Scale of 1 to 10, my coolness rated -8.
It's probably a -9.
1, I think because like I had no friends. I had like 3 girlfriends, and I think that was it.
I'm right on the same levels. If I could go negative, I would, because I went to school and then I went home.
In middle school, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I probably thought of myself as like an 8 or 9. I was more like a 1 or a 2. But you know, people grow and people change.
Definitely a 1. I think everyone was a 1. I don't think anyone was cool in middle school. I think we were all nerdy and cringy and annoying and gross and sweaty and just,
disgusting.
Hormones.
Yep, it's just too much of everything.
Probably like maybe a 5 on the outside and like a 1 on the inside. I was such like a poser in middle school. I would wear like the Aeropostale shirts, you know, I had like the skinny jeans and I had the tank tops and the cardigans. On the outside, I was fitting in on the outside. On the inside, I was just a sweet little nerd.
I would also have to say I'm definitely a solid 10 in middle school. My favorite outfit that I wore was these dark purple, like jaguar print skinny jeans with like really bulky, like boy shoes, and then this like really bright white and turquoise striped t-shirt with like a purple half sweatshirt that matched my pants. And I was in the drama play in middle school, which I watched like a recording of it later, and it was a really good play. So definitely I was a solid 10.
I wouldn't say I was negative, but probably like a 0 or a 1, because I had really short boy hair, and all I wore was Aeropostale or Hollister, and oftentimes they would be like matching, so I had like matching Aeropostale shorts they wore with like a sweatshirt that was short sleeve. So it was not cool at all whatsoever.
I think I was probably a 5. I think I thought I was a lot cooler than I actually was, and a lot of the things that I did were really immature, and I realize that now, so that's okay.
For the 10, how cool was I in middle school? I'd say like a solid -3. I was about like the opposite of cool. Oh god.
I think I had braces and I kind of just did my own thing. I didn't really talk to anybody and I kind of like hated the world.
Well, I'd call myself like a 5 or 6. Like I wasn't the popular kid. I was the class clown that everybody didn't hate, but like he was either funny or he was annoying, one or the other.
I would say probably a solid 4.
She was definitely at least a 5, maybe. Just kidding.
Alright, well for me, it would probably be a 5, because growing up in middle school, everyone knew everyone and basically their personality types and which group they would follow. So I kind of just knew everyone, but kind of avoided them in certain situations.
I'd consider myself a high 10. I was very cool. I had lots of friends and
lots of girlfriends.
Lots of good times, lots of girlfriends.
1 to 10, I think I was like a -2 on the cool scale. I wore basketball shorts every day to school, so I was not very cool at all.
Scale of 1 to 10 in middle school. If he's a 5, I'm probably like running a 2, 2.8 maybe. I remember I had the sickest wardrobe. Like I wore these, just the same blue Nike shoes with like neon green shorts and a gray sweatshirt. I wore that every day I could.
Maybe like a 4 of coolness, maybe 3.5. I cut my hair. I have really curly hair, and then I cut bangs, and it was so bad. It was the worst decision I've ever made in my life, and it was just. Everyone has like a low point in middle school. Mine was just like negative. Mine was so bad.
Like who's that chick that's rockin' kicks? She gotta be from out of town. So hard with my girls on around me. It's definitely not a Nashville party. Cause all I see is the letters. I guess I never got the memo. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the DJ dropped my favorite tune. And the Britney song was on. And the Britney song was on. And the Britney song was on. So I put my hands.
So I was in middle school, and it was like New Year's Eve, and I was at like Andrea Sperling's house or something, and so I decided it would be really funny if I danced around and pretended to be Justin Bieber. So I did, and somehow it got online. I don't know who uploaded it, but it's on the internet, and then somehow this like company or something found it, and they put it in their top 10 Justin Bieber impressions countdown. I'm number 10, so technically I have the
10th best Justin Bieber impression on the internet. The people in the comments did not like it, but I'm gonna throw a napkin and then I wipe my face with it out to the audience. Oh yeah, here's my microphone.
Back in like 7th grade, I dated Kim Myers for like 2 weeks, and I was like super nerdy and I was like antisocial, and she was always trying to get me to sit next to her and during lunch, and I'd just go to the library because I did not want to meet new people.
I liked to wear hats, different kinds of hats. Huckleberry secretly stole every single hat. If I had ever put it down, he would take it, and for some reason I just kept bringing hats. He probably stole like 15 hats.
I don't know why you kept bringing hats.
Because I wanted to wear a hat, but you kept stealing them.
The best part
I don't
was,
know where a couple of them are, because you either lost them.
The best part was running around with a backpack full of your hats. When you were like, who's taking my hats? Who's taking these?
This happened on the very first day that I moved here in middle school when I was in 8th grade, and I was an idiot, obviously, and I walked into Miss Cooper's math class. I guess I was hoping to make a good impression or something. I don't know, it was bad. And I, instead of being like a normal person and like saying hi to someone, I just went and laid down across the desk like this, and I said, hey, what's up? I think it was Sabrina that was her TA or something like that. I don't remember who it was, but it was a bad moment, and then everyone hated me for the rest of the year.
One time I had this phone case, and it was super edgy. I thought it was really cool, and it said the F word on it, and I was hiding it with it because I didn't want my teachers to see it. And Eli Moore thought it would be really funny to raise his hand in class and tell Miss Stroshine about my phone case. Well, she didn't think it was as funny as me and Eli did, and I ended up getting my phone taken away, and I got sent to the office, and I later got a bunch of lunch detentions and a call to my parents for that, but he apologized, so it's okay.
So we sat across from each other in advanced science, Miss Gallo's class, and I sat here and Langston sat here, and it was 2 tables that were pushed together. And so one day I looked down and these tables were pushed apart. I was like, what the heck, why are these tables pushed apart? So I jammed them back together.
She's already gonna do this.
And Langston starts screaming. I'm like, why are you screaming? He's like, because you're smashing my fingers. I was like, Langston, I don't know what you're talking about. So I like keep smashing these tables together, and he's like, still screaming. I'm like, Langston, you need to calm down. He's like, my fingers. I'm like, Langston, I don't know what you're talking about. So he pulls his fingers out, and you look at them, and they're bright red, and they're swollen. I was like, oh my God, what happened to your fingers?
When I was in 7th grade, I had a really huge crush on Aiden Barcy, and I would tell people that he was my boyfriend, but honestly he didn't really even know me, but I would tell people that. And so one day we went to the football game with like a bunch of my cousins and my aunts that were already in high school, and I had to hang out with them, and I was telling them that I wanted to leave them because I wanted to go see my boyfriend Aiden, and their friend was like, oh, who's your boyfriend? And I'm like, oh, it's Aiden Barcy. And she's like, no way, that's my little brother. And I was like, oh crap.
So an awkward middle school story. When I was in middle school, I think this was 8th grade, and I was on the volleyball team, and I wanted so bad to fit in. I was like not the coolest person, so I was at like the cool table with all the volleyball girls, and everyone had just made their paper plate inspirations, which a bunch of teams do, and so everyone had them all done, and I was sitting next to McKenna, and I was drinking something, and she made me laugh, and I did a spit take over the entire table, and I ruined like 12 paper plate awards, and everyone had to walk up there with their soggy paper plate awards.
In Mr. Moore's science class, we were giving out our answers for questions, or vocab answers or something, and I had my worst voice crack ever, and I will never forget it to this day. The word was variation. Some of you may remember, but it sounded a little like variation.
This 8th grade year, I had this dress that zipped from my chest to my legs, and it was really cute. And I was walking in the school, and it was like cold outside, so I had my cardigan over, and like I was holding it like this. and somehow my top got unzipped, but I didn't realize it, and so I walked in, and like around that time, there's kids who used to play like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff underneath the stairs, and like they were a little group. They always just stood underneath the staircases. And I remember walking in, and they were like laughing and like smiling and just like watching me walk in. I was like, oh, maybe they like me. Like maybe they like my body. I was like, maybe they want to be friends with me or something. Like, because they never even like paid attention to me before. And then I get halfway down the hallway, and someone's like, Haley, your dress is like unzipped, and it was like unzipped like down here, and I was like, oh my god.
So in middle school, in 8th grade, I had a huge crush on Nick Russo, and for like a while, and then I was like trying to get people's help, and Danielle was like, yeah, I'll help you, I'll get him to ask you out.
And then me being the desperate middle schooler that I was just like, oh yeah, I'll talk to him, and then I started talking to him, and then like a day later, because that's how middle school relationships work, is we started dating. And I was like, oh, you know, it'll be fine. I'll tell Kira. She'll be totally cool with it. No, Kira heard through the grapevine, and we like got in this huge fight about it. And looking back at it now, it's absolutely ridiculous.
So a few times in middle school, Mr. Perkins gave me lunch detention for being late. And one time he made me move into his office for talking, and so I was like pretty angry. And he had a gnome that was like sitting right next to his door. And so I took the gnome and I put it in my backpack, and I brought it to the girls' bathroom, and I stuck it in the toilet. And later someone posted a picture on Facebook. Yeah, and I think someone peed on it.
There is 8 weeks until graduation.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
There's 8 weeks until graduation, and I'm super excited, except I can't have senioritis because I go to scat.
There's 8 weeks until graduation. That's a little scary.
So there's 7 weeks until graduation, and I have really, really, really bad senioritis.
Honestly, I don't have any senioritis. Yeah, it's not that scary at all.
I don't really have too many hard classes, so like senioritis isn't really hitting me too hard, but there are times where I'm like, ooh, math homework or sleeping. So.
Now that the AP tests are over and the senior presentations are over, we're good.
Yeah, I've probably had senioritis since like preschool. Like as soon as I walked into preschool, I was like, this is not for me.
So there's 6 weeks left of school, and we finished the yearbook about 2.5 weeks ago. It turned out pretty awesome, and I think we're really excited to show everybody. We're really proud of it. I hope you like it.
I'm like on the, I've backed up, flicked my wrist, and now I'm still hopping back, waiting for the ball to land.
So there's 5 weeks until graduation. I'm super excited to get out of school.
So we got 5 weeks left till graduation, and I'm pretty nervous. I think I did everything, but I feel like there's gotta be something that I forgot.
Basically, what I'm feeling right now is scared in a way, but also excited.
I used to be a big bragger when I was younger. I thought I was the smartest thing out there, and I would go to MIT and do all these amazing things.
Since freshman year, I've grown about like 12 inches.
School, probably my favorite extracurricular activity was actually one of the classes, and that would have to be band. Band is just its own little family, you know, so many inside jokes, and the friendships that you make in there, you know, probably going to be the ones that last the longest.
Okay, so I'm actually really happy that I joined Key Club my freshman year. It was such a great experience. It's a community service-based club, and I really learned a lot of things through that. I also joined speech and debate this year, which was pretty lit. I definitely recommend everyone join. I'm also so glad I joined speech and debate. I am a quiet person at school usually, and speech and debate just helped me break out of my shell. And I just like met some really cool people, and you like realize how weird people are that you did not expect, and you just make these really great bonds with people.
Probably my favorite one was robotics. I got to go to St. Louis last year for the international competition, and I got to change into a really, really new mascot suit and make it all sweaty nasty for the people this year.
Was soccer. I've always loved soccer. I did it as a kid and was glad to
redo it again. It actually was fun. I got to meet new people.
I'm really glad I joined cross country in high school because I liked to run, but I never really did it seriously. And then once I got into it, the team was really good that year, and I met just amazing people, and we ended up going to state. And now a lot of the girls that I run with are some of my best friends, and we've just had so many interesting van trips together, running out of gas multiple times. Yeah, I just can't imagine what my life would be like if I had never joined cross country.
My favorite extracurricular activity was probably the only extracurricular activity, which is student store. And I think the reason it's not necessarily the student store that I like, it's the people that I've met in that, because I'm friends with so many different people that I never probably would have talked to if I wouldn't have had that class with them type of thing. So it introduced me to different types of people.
I'm really glad I joined sailing. When I started it, I hated it. For the first probably 2 months of it, I really wanted to quit, and I vowed I was never going to do it again. And then it started to get kind of fun. And so I'm really happy I did that. I'm now a team captain, and sailing kind of made me realize that I was I could handle a lot more than I thought I could, and that I could deal with something that was scary and made me a lot stronger.
My favorite extracurricular activities or classes would have to be drama and choir, because drama is really fun. You have Mr. Burnett in there first off, and then you get to be around a lot of funny people all the time, and you get to create your own play when you're in drama 3 and 4.
What impacted me most throughout high school was probably my teachers, because they have stop laughing. Probably they've helped me a bunch. I have spent a lot of time with Miss Masters and Lutri and Pringle, and all my teachers. It's super great and super helpful. So that's probably what impacted me most throughout my high school, my friends and stuff.
I want to say the teachers. Definitely the teachers and administrators and counselors and whatnot, all of them. I had Ronger come up to me the other day and was like, "You've grown so much in the past couple of years, baby." I'm like, we talk? Do you know who I am? Do you know my name? But yeah, no, apparently they pushed me super, super hard throughout the last 3 years. I didn't really go here for the first year, but yeah, they supported with personal issues, with academic issues, with friend issues, I guess. I just vent to teachers. There's a handful of people that they're not even teachers, they're friends, but but I don't call them by the first name. That's weird.
Don't need no makeup, don't need no mirror, don't need no nothing, just need you here. Don't need no makeup, don't need no mirror, don't need no nothing, there's nothing that I know clearer. Don't need no lipstick, don't need no heels, just need you, I need you to keep it real. I need you in my life, I need you, I need you, I need you by my side. I'll keep my faith if you keep loving me right. I'll keep my faith if you make love to me tonight, and if you ride by my side. Love the time of your life, cause if you ride by my side.
Okay, so favorite high school memories so far. So I think it was probably a couple weeks before senior year started. We were all just hanging out. I think it was Kira's birthday party or something. We were all just hanging out, and we were out in the hot tub, and we kind of heard noises, so we were what the heck's going on? We all got super freaked out, and so we went upstairs, and a couple of the guys were with us. I think it was Hank and Bradley. They go up and open the door, and there's a pile of eggs sitting on the porch, and then we get a message of some sorts from Nate, and he's just I don't know why, but he just decided to egg us. And then we look, and there's forks in the yard too, and we were okay, what's going on? And so we were just like super confused. We were like, okay, you're trying to prank us, what? And then like.
So flash forward to, was it the same night or was it like a week? Yeah, same night. A few hours later, we were like, you know what? Like, let's get revenge. So a few of us like hop in a car and we take all of the eggs. I think it's like me, Danielle, Kim, Sarah. And Hank was driving. So we drove over to Nate's house and we had the eggs and we go to his house and we're like, okay, let's just like put the eggs on his like porch, get them back exactly the same way they got us. Hank is holding the bag of eggs and then he's standing on the porch and then Nate rips open the door, takes the eggs.
He came out because Hank put us on his Snapchat story.
And he was like, oh, we're about to prank Nate. So then Nate knew that we were there. He stole the eggs and then Nate, Jaren, and Chris take the eggs and start chasing the four of us girls down the street, throwing eggs at us. And then when we get far enough away, they get in the car and they start chasing us down the road and like driving by us and like throwing eggs at us. They were super
They
far.
were literally pelting eggs at us. We were like on this windy road, like super scary. So
it was like in the middle of the night too.
And so Kim and I, we call Lydia and we're like, hey, come get us. Like, we're being egged. Unfortunately, that's not what Lydia heard.
So, as most people know, in sophomore year, Jackie and I were in love as friends, so we decided to share that love on the internet with a YouTube channel called K Thanks Bye.
Today, we're going to be talking about a special kind of friend. Not a girl, a boy. Not a boy space friend, a boy. No dash, really close together words, friend.
Most embarrassing moment for me probably was having a fan club made of me. That was a little weird from my senior year. Matt Wong made that, shout out to him. Has like 70 followers. It really shouldn't have any of those followers. It's kind of weird.
So my embarrassing high school story is last year, me and Ashley were in math class and we ran out of class early because we were gonna go to Pizza Factory. And I don't think you know this, but so I had Ugg boots on and I'm running down the back stairs and all of a sudden I fall and I like fly mid-air, land on my butt at the bottom of the stairs, and I peed my pants and split my pants open, and then I had to go to the emergency room because I had a bruised tailbone, and all within that, Ashley had to drive me and she still stopped and got pizza.
It's every time at the beginning of the year when I started speaking English here, and it was so hard for me to understand every single person, to understand the language, and it was pretty embarrassing, like all these moments that I had with my friends that were laughing at me and I couldn't understand anything. It was horrible. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Anyways, I was talking to this guy used to know, and I was in my car, and pretty much, he's outside my car talking to me, and I had to go. So I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And I do. And he was just like, oh no, stay longer. I was like, So he pretty much went kind of like near the blind spot in my car. I didn't see he was there. And so I started backing up, and I hear this like, on the side of my car, and I hear like yelling, like, what happened? Who died? Turns out I had run over his foot, and I was on his foot when he was hitting the side of my car, and I didn't realize it. And finally, he's like, you're on my foot! And I was like, oh, shoot.
There's 4 weeks until graduation, and I am very excited and ready to start my new adventure. I absolutely love Anacortes, but I'm beyond ready to leave and begin my life.
My friends are leaving, and all the senior stuff is happening.
So how I feel about it being 4 weeks away from graduation is just a jumble of emotions with like being scared and being nervous but excited at the same time.
There's 3 weeks left and I'm very excited. It's a little freaky to think that we're never going to be here again, and I think everyone's really worried about grades and getting ready for graduation, but I'm excited and it's going to be a lot of fun.
3 weeks till graduation, baby!
There's 3 weeks!
There's 2 weeks left of high school!
And I'm very excited about it.
There's 1 week till graduation! There's 1 week left and I'm excited. Psyched.
There's still finals.
There's 1 week left and I'm so excited.
I want it to be over so I can go home and do nothing.
Freedom at last.
So baby, we'll be old and think about the stories that we could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think about the stories that we could have told.
My favorite teacher is Miss Seacock.
My favorite teacher is definitely Mr. Burnett. He's the kid.
Definitely Miss Paula.
Favorite is probably Mr. Pringle. I like the way he teaches his subject, and I mean he's an interest guy. I don't know, it's pretty funny.
One of my favorite teachers is probably Mr. Backman, just because of how random he is. Like, we'll just be doing some English and all of a sudden he's like, I think we should sing right now. And I'm gonna break out my guitar. Here's some lyrics, here we go. And we'll all start singing and it's all super awkward. Or his like super dry humor where we're just, you know, doing our thing and he tells the joke and he just goes, okay, now we're gonna go into like what we're doing, and it's just so random, and he's the only one that laughs for a second, and then everybody else kind of gets the joke a little bit afterwards and they all start laughing. He's just a character. I really like Mr. Beckman.
My favorite teacher is probably Mr. Delutri, probably because he isn't afraid to kind of give me crap, I guess. Like he'll bug me and he'll be like, oh, you already got senioritis when you're a sophomore.
My favorite teacher had to be John Pringle, Mr. Pringle, sorry. And Mr. Pringle was absolutely fantastic.
I always rag on Gertz a little bit. Kind of like, he's Gertz, he's the bane of my existence, but really, I love him deep down.
Favorite teacher throughout both middle school and high school is Miss Masters. I believe she's had the greatest impact on me as a learner and as a writer.
Favorite teacher would definitely have to be Mr. Burnett. He's been my avid teacher ever since freshman year. He's a real good guy, he's really supportive, and he's really fun in drama. All around great teacher.
My favorite teacher in all of high school is probably Mr. Simonson. I had him for 5 years through high school and middle school, and through that entire time he always put in the extra mile.
I would definitely say my favorite teacher is Mr. Burnett. Just doing like theater and whatnot with him has been really fun.
Spice, because I've had her last year and this year for English, and she's made us all feel like we're family, and she's like a mom to us, so we'll come in having a bad day and she'll give us a big hug.
I love all the teachers, we all have a connection, but if I was to actually like pick someone, I would say Miss Hall instead.
My favorite teacher here so far has to be Dickinson, has to be DeSauce. He's made me feel at home here.
Our favorite teacher, as a unit, our favorite teacher is Mr. Thompson.
I would say it's Dickinson because he's just so cool and he's really funny to be around.
Mr. Anderson.
My favorite teacher is definitely Miss Masters.
Yes! My favorite teacher is also Mr. Burnett because he is really supportive.
I like Delutri. I've had him every semester, all 4 years of high school. But McCartney, he looks like the actor from New Girl, the guy who played Nick, and then also he kind of has the shape of the face as the guy who played Schmidt. So I just find it really cool and funny.
I don't know. I have a thing for the bald teachers, like Dickinson and Johnston. Oh yeah.
Also Pringle.
Gotta be Rommels. Miss Robson, if you're watching this, love you all 4 years.
My favorite teacher is Miss Pringle. It's just funny. Like, it's really, really funny.
You will go far away, and the world is better than this place. You will find
Someone we wish we were both better friends with is Jackson Fryer. Definitely Jackson Fryer.
Claire Martin and Nicole McNamee.
I wish I was better friends with Jackie Favors.
I wish I was better friends with Sabrina Poor.
And I wish I was better friends with Nicole McInerney.
I'm in love with Jackson Fryer. He is a handsome son of a gun. And I love his outfits and his cool thrift shop clothes. And his Crocs, I appreciate them very much.
I haven't been going here that long, but I really wish I could have met Milan Casa.
Be Dylan Fox.
I'm in love with Logan Hanrahan.
I have always had a friend crush on Sally Vokes. I had a huge crush on Bradley Duo, and so when he would like sign in and all that stuff, it's just like, oh my gosh, she likes to learn sign language and all that.
Who do you wish you're better friends with? Nicole McInerney. Honestly, she's in The Rock and she's just very quiet. And she just kind of chills over there. I'm like, oh, I wish I knew Nicole better. And right before we were filming senior video, she was like, Hank, you know you should say it's your friend crush in your senior video. I'm like, what? She's like, Nicole McInerney. I was like, well, I already was, so you're set.
My senior crush is Langston Donaldson, LD Murda, because he is the illest.
My senior crush is also Langston Donaldson and Logan Hanrahan.
I would like to get to know more Grace. We didn't really know each other freshman, sophomore, or junior year. And I think senior year, being in the mock trial, having chemistry, we definitely bonded. So I wish I got to know Grace more.
Okay, so my freshman and sophomore year I ran cross country, and James Parker was on the cross country team, and he would always walk up to me and like grab my hand and be like, oh my gosh guys, I just held hands with Whitney. Or we'd be like standing in a group and he walked up to me like, hey guys, this is my girlfriend Whitney, and like put his arm around me. It was pretty funny. I don't know. And so I miss him, and I think he's adorable because I don't do cross country anymore, so.
We've had the biggest crush on Cece since 7th grade.
I really wish I would have gotten to know better Haley Webster. I'd always see her around the halls, and she always had a beautiful smile.
There's a prisoner of war knocking at your door. Open up and you will find the face is yours. Check it again, just to be sure.
I think every girl, low-key, has a crush on this specific person. And that person is Dylan Fox.
What a babe.
My name is not Haley Moon. My real name is Haley Trichelle.
I used to think you were Asian.
I've had a crush on Bradley Miller for like ever.
Yeah! Yeah! I was hanging out with Ruby, and she's like, hey, follow this car, and I'm gonna take you somewhere. And long story short, I ended up at Dylan Fox's house. He wasn't there. I didn't know it was his house.
My freshman year, I had this thing with this guy that was a junior, and so there's like a room in between. So here's Miss Reed's room, the outside room, and then here's Mr. Delucci's room, and there's that storeroom in the middle, and we would go in there and make out during class.
My freshman year, I was in Dickinson's classroom, and we were playing basketball, and I went up into the balcony, and they dared me to shoot a shot from the balcony into the hoop, and I missed completely, and I hit the back, or the scoreboard, and I broke it.
I think everybody in this entire school already knows this, but I am in love with Peter Correa, and I think he knows it too, so it's not really that much of a confession.
Back when I was in middle school, I thought Isaac Hansen was thebomb.com, and I mean, turns out I'm going to prom with his neighbor, but
Usually I'm late every day to school because I sit in my car debating whether or not to actually show up.
It's really sad. I'm never late to school.
My sophomore year, I started to get really tired of everyone not logging out of their computers. So every time I found a computer that wasn't logged out, I'd go on their emails and I would email Mr. Hancock a meme for 3 years.
What? I've had a crush on Kyle McClure since middle school, and I have done nothing about it, and I probably still will.
Rip. Cece, Derek Vance, Derek Norton, Eli Moore, and I were all in the Parkside neighborhood, and we saw a lot of cars outside someone's house, and we were may or may not have been the ones that TP'd them and put bows on all the cars.
I did ballet when I was really, really young, and like I only did it for like a year, and it was I instantly quit when I got up on stage in my mouse costume with all the other girls, and they came around with lip gloss.
Well, on the night it was the boys district championship for basketball this year. We went to the game, but before we got Mexican food, and so I had this like leftover burrito in my car, right?
And then after the game, we went up to Eli and congratulated him on the win. And he said a really snarky comment to us that was really not nice. So the only way we get him back was obviously to just put Sally's leftover burrito on his car.
Naturally, it was the only thing we had to do.
So we did it.
I've had the longest crush on Chris Bowen. I've wanted to marry Eli Moore since preschool. I used to write him love letters and try to sleep next to him in nap time, so.
So we usually have this tradition of playing hide and seek at his house in pitch black after looking in the fridge for a couple minutes.
Like bright light,
Right,
just
yeah.
staring into a bright light and scouring a house that's pitch black.
And then Dylan Jimenez had the great idea to celebrate Noah's birthday is that we all run upstairs, lay on one of his futons, and just all of us just in our underwear. Just all posing.
Doing like the sexy pose.
Yeah, very seductively. And Noah somehow learned of this plan, also stripped, walked upstairs, and just said very like, he just said, "Hello, boys."
Alright guys, first off the juniors, guys. Go ahead, be
What I think success is when you're surrounded by all your family and friends and they're glad to see you succeed through life and going through all those problems and just enjoy it. That's what success is to me.
I'd say success
is owning a successful Ice Cube business.
Possibly.
I mean,
or is it when you are completely content with your current situation?
yeah, if we're gonna be real about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just be happy, but I mean,
Be happy. Success is defined by you. So if your definition of success is happiness, that is all you need.
Well, in my life, I want to have a family, for sure. But I think, I don't know if when I'll be 27, I'll have already a family, a job, and a house. I mean, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. I feel like in 10 years, I will be still going around, traveling around the world, and see different countries. And yeah, it scared me, but that's what I'm thinking about my next 10 years.
To achieve success, I don't really think you need much as long as you're happy with what you have. So I think just in order to achieve success, you just need to be happy with whatever you're doing, and if you're not, then progress further on.
Success to me is being able to look back on what you've done and being able to say, I am proud of what I've done that got me to here. That is success, and so far, I think I've been pretty successful. What do you think?
So in 10 years, hopefully, I will be graduated from the University of Washington's physical therapy program. I'll be starting as a physical therapist for athletes at a hospital, and I'll probably be married, but not have kids yet because I don't want kids.
Probably
definitely want to travel at least when I'm younger, in my younger years, when I'm hopefully within 10 years I'll be 27. Get my PhD and master's in environmental science from Western, and kind of travel the world, see what I can do to help save the environment, visit places like Mount Everest, you know, climb some mountains, do whatever, have a fun time, just be chill.
So 10 years from now, I see myself saving the whales and also being a 3rd grade teacher and maybe married, because that'd be cool.
See myself in 10 years playing soccer, dude. Always.
I'm majoring in animation, so it could be 2 things. I could direct a very successful film series that
Or
could get
be
me
unemployed.
You could let me answer for myself.
Sorry, that was really mean.
Well, no, that's what I was gonna say.
Probably jail. I'll probably have been arrested for committing some type of I'll probably be at a protest, and I'll be that idiot that runs at the cops, or gets caught blowing something up, or
So I plan on opening my own business. It's gonna be Berto's Pizzeria.
yeah, I'll probably be trying to bail Julie out of jail.
Hopefully in 10 years I'm going to be living in Australia and not homeless.
So in 10 years, I probably see myself getting a computer science degree, maybe an engineering degree. I don't know, getting a house, marrying Caitlin Ware, having 2 kids, you know, good things.
Kind of want to be a flight attendant, so that would be really cool. I want to travel the world, and I want to have my in-home art studio set up. Would be awesome.
In 10 years, I see myself having 5 kids, 3 being adopted, and the other 2 not being adopted.
Around about a decade, probably gonna be somewhere not America, hopefully, and having a steady job in a foreign country and making a heck of bank in whatever currency they have.
Yeah, so in 10 years, I don't know. So I'm gonna be 28.
Oh God.
Yeah.
28, 10 years.
So 28.
I'm that's basically being dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna have my
There's nothing left after
I'm gonna
that.
buy my grave plot in advance.
Alright, where I see myself in 10 years is probably on a beach, really sunny, in a huge mansion, but not in the mansion, just in the garbage can to the side of the mansion.
I'll be bailing him out of jail in 10 years.
Hopefully, in 10 years, I'll be happy, successful, and doing what I want to do.
My dream job would be working on a show that I really like. I'll just throw out Conan, if that's still on the air. I think that.
I would really hope that would still be on the air. That would be
Yeah.
a shame if that went off the air.
Yeah,
He's not even that old.
He's been on TV for 30 years.
Yeah, but he's not old.
Yeah. So working on a show like that, I feel like that'd be kind of in the peak.
I see myself 10 years from now. I'd be age 28. I'd probably be married and have at least 2 kids. And I see myself fulfilling my dream of becoming a writer. And it's kind of my passion to be a novelist. And writing for me would just be being able to create a world, a literal world in front of people's eyes and have them read it and be totally interested in it and have full control of it is really cool to me. So I really see myself writing for the rest of my life.
I don't want to work on movies I don't like, and that's a terrible thing to say if I want to make money in life. But if I get high, if I'm working at DreamWorks and they're like, or Sony or whatever, Sony, and they're like, hey, we're making an Emoji Movie too, I'm going to quit. I'm not working on that.
And you hear that, so please hire me for the Emoji Movie too.
As an animator to take my place.
Not an animator. I can write. I'm fluent in emoji.
So I see myself probably 10 years probably finishing. I'm going to be well finished with college by then. I'm not going to go through 10 years of college, but college, after college, working, I don't know where, but I want a dream job, Tesla. I want to work at Tesla. I want to build electric cars. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I see myself being an engineer. I don't really know where, but I know I want a Tesla because those cars are awesome. I've always wanted one after Noah pointed them out.
It's either work at Tesla, SpaceX, Hyperloop, or basically those three.
In 10 years, I see myself probably graduating high school. And graduating college also. And ending up with an audio engineering degree. Probably approaching the sound industry with music, because I want to stay with my music, because I've been playing instruments for 8 years. So, I mean, it's a big part of my life.
4 stages: elementary school, middle school, high school, and whatever path you take beyond it. We started separated in elementary school, but eventually we all got together in middle school. We are now finishing the penultimate section and moving on to the last. But all 4 stages are puzzle pieces, and together it reveals the story of the class of 2017.
Just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm gonna make this place your home. Inside my heart there's an emptiness, a heavy hate on a hollow chest. So unspoken like a disease is the way to incomplete me. Can you shake this soul of mine? Shoot my breath to the highest height. Tell your truth or trust a lie. Is this hello or is it goodbye? Is this the low or is this the high? Just let it go toward the high. Without the low there ain't a high. I found a ghost in the city lights, where all my wrongs have turned to right. Heartbroken into pieces, it ain't a way that we should live. From the ground up we will rise. I tip my head to the highest height. Every day is a compromise. If this is low, I'm looking for higher. Just let it go toward the high. Without the low there ain't a high. 'Cause all we need is love, but love needs sacrifice. But it sure